Hi, it's Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I've got a surprise for you guys. I'm going to break my rule and I'm going to actually show you all my tarot cards. What I've done is I've broken it up into sections. So we're going to have like fantasy, animal, dark tarot, all the different sections. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the timestamps for each section down in the comments below. And you can, if you want to, skip through it. But without any further ado, let's get started with fantasy cards. Okay, first deck that I've got is the Astara Tarot. Really, really nice tarot. Beautiful backs of the cards, gorgeous cards. These cards are really something else. They are just absolutely gorgeous. And it is a tarot deck that I read with very, very often. Okay. Next up, we have the Ethereal Visions Tarot. Look at the back of these cards. Gorgeous. And the cards themselves have got this gold inlay, if you can see in the light. Absolutely beautiful. It's a sort of gold leaf inlay. The cards are like an off-white, and what I did was when I got them, I actually edged them. You probably can't see, but I edged them in like a pearlescent off-white. So that's the Ethereal Visions. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Let's put that there. Next we have the ever-popular Gil Tarot, or Jill Tarot, as it's sometimes called. There it is there, that's the front of the box. Nice deck. I was going to actually trim these, but you can't really trim them very nicely because you end up cutting some of the actual words off. Like for instance, if you had to trim that, you'd cut the word prince off. So yeah, that doesn't really work. But this is a lovely deck of cards. It is a pip deck, so I'm not hugely fond of pip decks, but this really works. And of course, I've edged it in a nice sort of metallic blue. Next up, let's do a little tiny one. This is actually a heavily trimmed version of the Harmonious Tarot. What I did was I cut it really, really small, and I edged it in 3 different colors of green. You can see there. Gorgeous. That's the back, so you can see even by trimming it so tiny, it hasn't really affected the back at all. And I never really used this tarot deck until I trimmed it, and now I use it all the time. It's just gorgeous. It's also all upside down. Look at that. Very Art Nouveau. Love this little deck. Okay, sticking with tiny decks, I have the Miniature Cecoli. Little teeny tiny one, okay? I edged it in pink. Soft pink, but I never really wanted the full version of this deck for some strange reason. There's also a little bit of controversy around this deck about the sort of almost sexualization of little very prepubescent sort of characters, which I think is a load of rubbish, but it is a very strange deck. I just really didn't want to spend a huge amount of money on a deck that I really only like the pictures of. So I bought the mini version of Cecoli. Okay. Next up is a really cool deck called the Apocalypsis Tarot, or Tarot Apocalypsis. This is one of the first decks I actually got, and I edged it in a nice, brilliant red, as you can see. And it's quite a bright deck. It's a very interesting deck because there's all different kinds of sort of ethnicities in this deck. Each suit is a different kind of ethnicity, like you've got the Buddhist, the Japanese, you've got the American Indian. There's all different kinds of ethnicities in here. And it's just a really, really, really nice deck. And that's what the back looks like. Beautiful jeweled back. Tarot Apocalypsis. And then, of course, I have my ever beautiful Vice Versa Tarot. This deck is actually quite interesting because what you see, it doesn't have a backing. It has that picture on the front, and if you flip it over, it has kind of the reverse. Okay? All right. Not always the exact reverse, but a kind of reversal reading. So this is a really nice deck. I've edged it in a soft green, as you can see. And this is a really nice deck if you enjoy something slightly different. It's very similar to another deck that I've got called the New Vision, Tarot of the New Vision. But this is a really cool little deck, and it's not terribly expensive. You can pick it up on Amazon for a couple of dollars. And lastly, in my fantasy section, I've got the Good Tarot. Now, some people would argue this is not really a fantasy deck. I beg to differ. Have a look at some of these pictures. Okay? This is pretty fantasy to me. It's got fairies, it's got horny stags, it's got all kinds of weird things in there. There's another fairy. It's not really a fairy deck, though, because you have Pegasus, and you have sort of angels. This is kind of an amalgamation of a very weird King of Air, amalgamation of a whole lot of different decks. And I put it in the fantasy section because I use it as a fantasy deck. That's what the back looks like. Okay, so there we go. Those are all my fantasy decks. Right, next up we have all my decks from the 70s and sort of early 80s. And the first one I want to show you is the Karma Tarot. It's a very unusual deck. It comes with huge borders, which I trimmed off and then I edged it in different colors. And it is an out of print deck at the moment, so I don't know if they'll ever bring this back. But it's a very cool deck, and it's called the Karma Tarot. If you look on the back, there we go. Karma music, Karma Tarot cards. Okay, love that deck. Then I have my beautiful little Morgan Greer in a tin. Now everybody knows the Morgan Greer Tarot. It's just one of those amazing little tarot decks. I love the tarot in a tin version because it's kind of zoomed in on all the actual pictures. Oh, there's an upside down one. See, I've been using this. Bright, vivescent. Oh, I love this little deck. Morgan Greer in a tin. That's what the backs look like. Kind of Rider-Waite-ish. It is a very Rider-Waite system, actually. Then I have this very strange Cosmic Tarot. It's a really weird tarot deck, and I actually trimmed my version and I edged it in a midnight blue. All right, and it's just it's also just like really, it's just very 80s. Love this. It's got a theme of dances. So if you have a look, a lot of the cards are actually dances. All different types of dance. It's just a really, really nice soft deck. I don't do a lot of reading with this deck, but when I do, it gives really, really good readings, you know. There's the moon. All right, so that's the Cosmic Tarot that I have in my collection. I then have a very strange deck called Morgan's Tarot. And this is not even really a tarot deck. I'll show you what I mean. That's the back of the cards. I've highlighted it in, should I say, I edged it in two different colors of highlighter, yellow and green, to give it that kind of nice edgy thing. This is just a really strange little deck. Look here. It's got no numbers or anything on it. It's just got these sayings. It's all in black and white. It's got these like weird sayings on. Oh, those are the backs. Can you see there? So this is really more of an oracle deck than anything else. But this is from the 70s, so it is a kind of like vibrant. What can I say? Like a vibrant kind of let's get stoned and pull a card type of deck. Okay, so that's there. And then lastly, in my 70s collection is my Aquarian Tarot, which I absolutely love. Again, tarot in a tin. Again, it's very much zoomed in on the faces of everyone. Love this little tarot deck. Very 70s, very popular in that time period, and it just gives the most spectacular readings. I love these cards. They're just super, super cool. And of course, it's completely Rider-Waite-Smith. That is what the backs look like. And yeah, so those were my sort of 70s and 80s decks. Right, next up, I've got what I call my novelty decks, and I'm going to start with the most novel of all, and that is one we all love and know, the Zombie Tarot. I love this box. I love everything about this deck. It reads really well, but it is actually, to me, it's a novelty deck. It's not a deck that I pull out all the time and do actual readings with. This is a fantastic Instagram deck. The cards are lovely and matte. It's just a really cool deck, and of course the backs are pretty awesome as well. Okay, some people say it's a dark deck. I disagree. In my collection, this is a novelty deck. The next novelty deck I've got is the African American Tarot, which is a beautiful tarot. Quite a bit of female nudity there. It's just a really cool deck. Again, to me, it is a novelty deck. I love this because I live in Africa, and a lot of these people actually mean something to me. The costumes mean something. I know what they're talking about. For instance, I know the story behind this card because it's an African legend. So this deck is really cool. I've edged it in black and green, and those are the backs. So my African American Tarot. Love this. I then have a very novel deck called the Tarot 3D. Now, I don't know if you can actually see that. Let me try and move it around so that you can perhaps see that. It's by Lascarabajo, and it's literally just the major arcana of the Lascarabajo deck. And I really don't know if you're going to be able to see this. All the cards are 3D. Okay. See that? Oh, it's so cool. Okay, so all the cards are 3D. It's actually showing up. Oh, goodness, let's get rid of the boobies. It's actually showing up quite well on the camera. Okay, so this is really cool. That's the back of the cards. There are only 22 cards, and it is pretty expensive. But I think for what you get, it's really cool. I never read with it. It's incredibly difficult to read with because of what you see. Your eyes kind of get a bit wonky. Okay, here we have the Tarot del Fuego. This is not really a novelty deck, but I have no idea where else to put this deck because it's so flippin' weird. The Tarot del Fuego freaks me out. I bought it because I really wanted it. I edged it in bright red, and I've never really used it again because of all the eyes. Absolutely freaks me out, this tarot deck. It's gorgeous, but it's just... Ooh, I actually get anxiety when I take this deck out. It's so weird, and it's so busy, and it's so bright, and it's so freaky. So I've put this in with my my novelty decks. It's called the Tarot del Fuego. And lastly, as far as novelty decks goes, I have the always popular and always disgusting and always funny Decameron Tarot. It is an adult deck, so close your eyes if you're afraid of penises and vaginas and boobies. It's a fun deck. I probably would never ever read for clients with this deck, but it is great fun. I think it's a deck that you and your mates could get really drunk and then kind of like haul this out and have a good old laugh. And funny enough, this is also something I would probably use if I was doing, let's say, readings for hens parties or that sort of thing. You know, it does tend to be very, very funny. And if you know anything about the Decameron, and if you've read the Decameron, you'll know exactly what's going on in these cards. Okay, so those are my novelty decks. Right, moving on to my animal decks. This is one you should all recognize, but maybe you don't recognize the size. This is the Wild Unknown, and it is a mini version of this deck, which you can only get on Wish. And I've cut it down even more. It's the only way I could use this little deck is if I actually modified it. I love that. So yeah, this is the Wild Unknown. Everybody knows this deck. Everybody has this deck. And I've cut mine right down to little teeny tiny ones. Okay, same back, exactly the same cards. They're just extremely small. Okay, so that's my one animal deck that I've got. Really like that. The next animal deck I've got, a very recent acquisition, is the White Sage Tarot. This is a beautiful deck. Look at this. Look how awesome this is. It's all animals. And the reason I got this was because I actually saw the indie version and I really, really wanted it because I loved it. It was obviously it's big. It's much bigger than these, but it was too expensive. It's like hugely expensive and I couldn't afford it. It is a pip deck, but it's a cute pip deck. Look, that's the sort of pip deck that I'm talking about. And of course, all the majors are animals, and of course your suit cards are animals as well. Love, love, love this deck. That's what it looks like on the back. Absolutely awesome. It's the White Sage Tarot, and of course I've got mine in a tin, which I love. Okay, next animal deck, also a very recent one that I bought, is the Magical Dogs Tarot. Okay, the Magical Dogs. Magical Dogs is really cool because it goes with my cat tarot, which I'll show you just now. But the Magical Dogs Tarot is so cute. That's the back of the tarot cards. And look how adorbs these cards are. They're all little dogs, okay? And they're all like there's the Strength card, okay? And the Moon card. And I love that. There's like the Ghost dog. It's actually very Rider-Waite Smith. So you can read very easily with this. I find it reads really nicely. I'm a huge dog fan. And I'm an animal fan, but dogs are my faves. And I just had to have this. And another reason I had to have this was because, I'll show you now, I have the Cat Tarot. This one. There are a lot of cat tarots out there, but this is the one I wanted. Okay, the back is purple like that, very cute. And then I've edged mine in a very soft lilac-y color to go with the backs. And this is what it looks like. It's very similar to the Dog Tarot, but slightly more naive. In fact, I think this is done in watercolors, which is why it looks like. How amazing is that death card? Love, love, love this deck. The Ace of Swords, love this deck. As I say, I choose my animal decks very, very carefully. And I only have animal decks that I really resonate with. I don't just buy them because they're animal decks. All right. The next one, also a brand new acquisition, is the Spirit Song Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. This is a beautiful tarot. That's what the backs look like. It's quite big. And again, it has got all, it's got all these, each card is like a different, I don't know if you can see, it's like a different sort of pastel color. And then on the cards, there are these very, very intricate drawings of animals. Very intricate. I mean, you could spend hours looking at these cards and seeing detail in these cards and all kinds of stuff in these cards. Look at that porcupine. Absolutely gorgeous. It's called the Spirit Song Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. And my last animal deck is the Bohemian Animal Tarot. I've been wanting this for so long, and for Christmas a very close friend of mine bought this for me. It's beautiful, it's gold gilded, comes with a lovely book in a lovely box, and look at these cards. I really wanted them. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but it's got animal heads, okay, or little animals. I absolutely love this. Look there. How cute is this? And it reads like a bomb. You can't believe how gorgeous this deck reads. It's such a nice deck. And look at those backs. How pretty is that? And that is my animal collection. Okay, now we're going to move on to my fairyland kind of tarot decks, okay? And the first one I want to show you is the very latest deck that I've actually received, and that is the Forest of Enchantment. It is a beautiful deck. That's the backs. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Look at this. It is just absolutely gorgeous. When I got this, I thought it was actually an animal deck. There are a lot of animals in here, but it's not. It's got there are a lot of human people in here as well. Gorgeous, sort of Grimm's fairy tale deck. There are fairies and elves, strange little people sitting in the woods, and that sort of thing. And of course, it's got unicorns. So it is, to me, a very fairy-like deck, and that is the Forest of Enchantment. Sticking to big box sets, I have an all-time favorite, which is the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. I think everyone knows this exquisite tarot deck. Those are the backs, and yeah, it's also known as the deck of faces because literally everything is just faces. Oh, there's an otter. Just the most exquisite deck. I love this deck. It's just magnificent. I think if my house is on fire and I had to save one deck, this would be the deck. And I've actually, I've edged it in light blue, pink, and light blue, light pink, light mauve, and dark mauve. So it's got these amazing gradients in it. So that is the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. Very, very, very nice. Okay, next up, I've got another little fairy tarot called the Mystic Fairy Tarot. And this one I have edged in bright green and yellow because it just suits the whole look. It just goes so nicely. And this is an interesting tarot deck because I love the artwork. It's slightly cartoony, but it's quite beautiful. It's not silly little fairies running around waving their wands. It still has a certain seriousness to it. You know, there's just something about this that appeals to me. It's almost like a coloring in book type of deck, and I really like that. This is what the back looks like. There you go. So yeah, that's another one of my fairy decks, Mystic Fairy Tarot. It's by Linda Ravenscroft, by the way. All right. On a slightly darker note, I have this, the Tarot of the Secret Garden. Very interesting tarot deck. It's all these. It's a very arty, splotchy, dense deck. This is a very dense deck, and if you have a look, it's all in color. Okay, very dark. Could even be a dark deck, but I've put it in here with all my fairy tale and fairy decks because it is a fairy deck. Okay, but the funny thing about this is when you turn it over, it's got all the same pictures in black and white. How cool is that? So you got that, and then you got that. Ta-da! Awesome, hey? So absolutely love this. It's the Tarot of the Secret Forest. Okay, if you want to go and look it up. Gorgeous deck. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Sticking to darkness and dark fairies, I have the Rackham Tarot. Now, Arthur Rackham was an illustrator, and he did he was famous for illustrating books with fairies. And what they've done is they've taken his cards and his drawings, and they've applied it to this card deck. Gorgeous deck. This is one of the decks I actually recommended for goths and witches who only want to work with the darkest of the dark decks and, vampire decks and stuff. I've edged this in a silver blue, okay, as you can see. That is the back of the card. Okay, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The Rackham Tarot, Arthur Rackham, brilliant, brilliant illustrator. Okay, let's get less serious. Here we have the Crystal Visions Tarot. Lovely little deck. I've trimmed mine because when I got it, it was a second hand, probably a third or fourth hand deck. It was completely fucked on the edges. So I trimmed it, rounded the edges, gave it a nice bright borders. And now I actually use this. It's not a deck that I would have bought for myself. It's a little bit too fairy-ish for me. But no, it's cool. I like it. I've grown to like this deck quite a bit. I mean, it's even got dragons in it, for goodness sake. So yeah, I kind of like this, and it's cute. It gives me something to put into my witchy bag. Look at my witchy bag. There it is. There's my little witchy bag, and my cards fit in there. Okay, so that is the Crystal Visions Tarot. It does look better if you trim it. The last of my many fairy tarots is this little guy here, Shadowscapes. Beautiful. Stephanie Punman Law. Absolutely gorgeous. It is a very delicate deck. It's one of those decks where you really have to look at these cards and lose yourself in. There is so much detail in these cards that it is impossible just to do a quick reading with them. This is more for sort of, I would say, self-study and getting to know yourself and that sort of thing. If you, I wouldn't say shadow work, but definitely work where you are looking more inward. Beautiful deck. I've edged it in a bright, a sort of metallic silver. Okay, so that's called the back looks like this, by the way. Very pretty. That is the Shadowscapes Tarot. And believe it or not, those are the only fairy decks that I have in my collection. Now let's look at the collection of cards that I call my Eclectic collection. It's bits and pieces. And I want to start off with my Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck. What I've done with this one, it's the original Rider-Waite-Smith, but what I've done is I've aged it. Okay, I've artificially aged this deck. And I will have a full video on how I did this coming up shortly. But this is just your standard Rider-Waite-Smith, which I keep in this gorgeous box. Let me show you the box. There we go. Pearl inlay top. There it is, nice wooden box. And I just keep all these little cards in there. This is my go-to deck. It's the deck that I probably use the absolute most. Okay, Rider-Waite-Smith, we all know it, blah, blah. But then we have another Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which I have trimmed and I have edged in red. That's the backs. And this is the brilliant Rider-Waite-Smith. So it's the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's been slightly redrawn and then just colored in with these vibrant, vibrant colors. I like this. I like this massive pop of color that's happening here. And the redrawing is so subtle you don't even really notice it. Okay, so that is the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith. Okay, so I have that as well. I then have another Rider-Waite-Smith deck-ish. It's called the Tarot of the New Vision. And this is an interesting one because it shows you all the different Rider-Waite-Smith cards but from a different angle. So you'll see all the well-known cards. You just see them from a different angle. Okay, I did edge mine in green, a dark green, because the backs are in green. Gorgeous deck. I love this deck. It's just so different, especially if you are a bit bored with old RWS, you know. Then I have a deck which I actually can't even tell you why I bought this. It is a beginner's deck by Barbara Moore, and she's very famous, as you know. And she does beautiful books and cards and things. But this is a Rider-Waite, a complete Rider-Waite clone. And that's why I've put it in the Eclectic section, because I don't really know what else to do with it. I never use this. I never read with this. But I do like it. It's pretty cool. It's an absolute Rider-Waite clone. Okay? But it's just really cool. This is what the back looks like. Really pretty back. And of course, because of all the blue in it, I edged mine in blue. Very, very cheap cards while it stocks up, fantastic. It's a very cheap deck, and it's definitely something a beginner could actually use. Okay, next up I have the Bianco Nero Tarot. All right, I've just done a review of this. That's the back. It's a black and white deck. It's half Visconti, half Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's just a really cool deck. It's based on woodcuts. Very nice, very Rider-Waite-Smith, very easy to read with, and it's a lovely little go-to deck. Okay, Bianco Nero Tarot, which means black and white, by the way. I then have my 2 and only Marseille decks. The Big Daddy and the Little Cub. Okay, so let's look at the little one first. The backs are gorgeous. I love the backs. I bought this one first because I actually didn't know if I wanted to start reading Marseille or what I wanted to do. So I bought the little tiny one, and I actually prefer it to the big one. The big one, what I've done here, it's very cheap. This is like a couple of dollars for this particular version. I don't even know who prints it. It's on the box somewhere. But that's the back. What I've done with these is I've actually trimmed them, took the borders off, and I just rounded the corners. So it actually looks pretty good. And then I colored in, can you see I colored in the top and the bottom, just because it's such a cheap deck. I mean, I can, if I end up hating it, I can just replace it, and I absolutely love it. Sorry, I'm off the screen. It's just a common old Marseille, and it's actually it's cute. I like reading with it, but I do prefer reading with a little baby Marseille. So those are my 2 Marseille decks. Okay, and last but not least, I have my Grand Thoth. I never really wanted to study Thoth, but I thought that, you know what, every collection must have a Thoth deck in it. And I decided to get this because it comes with the booklet and a nice big box. But the cards are teeny. Look at those little cards. It's like a pocket-sized deck. Obviously, it has the original backing. I edged mine in a bright yellow to go with the box. And they're gorgeous. I love them. Look here. They're so small. They're awesome. Absolutely awesome. And it's the original Thoth deck. There it is. And it comes in a nice box with a book, so I don't have to go and spend hundreds and hundreds and thousands of rands. And there we have my Eclectic collection. What do you think of that? Right, now for what everyone's been waiting for, my Dark Deck collection. This is not actually the Tarot del Necronomicon. This is the Dark Grimoire Tarot. But on the back of the box, it says, this is actually the back of the box that I cut up. So I'm not 100% sure what to call it. But on Amazon, it's called the Dark Grimoire Tarot. It is an H.P. Lovecraft-based tarot, and it is a very dark deck. It's very interesting. Again, it's one of those decks that you really need to get stuck in and sit and look at these images. There's so much going on. I've edged mine in black, okay? And that's what the back of the cards look like. All right, so that is the Dark Grimoire Tarot, one of my dark decks. The next deck I'm going to show you, everybody knows it, everybody loves it, and it is a dark deck, believe it or not. It's the Deviant Moon Borderless Edition. Okay, so I've edged mine in a dark red. All right, that's the back of the card. These are very long cards. It's just such a cool deck. It's just weird. It's super, super weird. It is, however, although it's weird, it's very Rider-Waite friendly. Very, very Rider-Waite friendly. So if you can read Rider-Waite, if you recognize the images, take a little time to look at these images and you'll see they're very Rider-Waite. Okay, so Deviant Moon, another one of my dark decks. Okay, here is the Tarot Illuminati. Now this is a very nice tarot deck. It is a dark deck, but it's a dark deck that is quite colorful. It's incredibly rich. The amount of textured detail that is in this deck is amazing. Okay, I mean, look at that. Just look at that. And where's that queen's dress? Look at this. Incredible stuff, man. The back of the cards are also quite vibrant. There they are there. Okay, and I've edged mine in black. Definitely a deck worth getting. Definitely a deck worth getting. It's called the Tarot Illuminati. Reads like a bomb as well, by the way. Tarot Illuminati. Okay, moving on. Here we have the Night Sun. I haven't seen many people with this deck, to be honest with you. It is a very nice deck. It's again very intricate, just unusual, really unusual imagery. You know, gorgeous imagery, but really unusual. What I did with mine is I actually trimmed mine. I trimmed all the borders off. It comes with gold borders. So I trimmed my borders off because it makes the images pop better. And I've edged it in black, obviously. That's what the back of the cards look like. Really, really nice. A really nice tarot deck to use. Okay, moving on swiftly, I'm going to show you my one and only Vampire Tarot. This is the box I made for it. Okay, pretty cool box. Right, and this is the deck. I only want one tarot deck and one vampire deck, and this is the one I chose because I'm not really into Vampire Tarot. So this is the one I chose for different reasons. I like the artwork, obviously. Is the main reason I chose this, but also the way the suits are divided up and the way they're illustrated really makes me enjoy them. This is the worst card in the entire deck. Absolutely hate this card. What the hell is that? It looks like the horse has got mumps. But anyway, this is not a review. This is just showing you my decks. I've edged it in red, and that's what the back of the cards look like. Lovely, lovely deck. It's a really nice deck. It actually reads quite well as well. Doesn't read too badly, and of course I made this really cool box for it. Okie dokie. Next up, we have Tarot of the Haunted House. Now, I'm going to show you the box that I got for it. Really cool box. Look here. Found it at a thrift store. It just really works. And this is a really nice deck as well. It's just all this like about this haunted house, and it's got all this like weird shit going down. Really, really cool stuff. You know, people being staked through the heart, and dark angels, and all kinds of crap. You know, the poisonous nursemaid. I have edged mine in black. It is borderless, so I didn't have to trim it or anything, but I've just edged mine in black because I think it goes with the whole theme. So that is Tarot of the Haunted House. Okay, really cool tarot deck, and if you can, try and find a nice box to put yours in. Right, then I have the Z Tarot, or Tarot Z. Okay, quite a new deck on the market. I think it only came out in 2019. It's a nice deck. You open it up like that. Okay, and it does have, I put this in as a dark deck because it's not as funny as the other zombie tarot. Okay, you can see it's pretty dark stuff. You know, there's some pretty scary stuff in here. It reads like a dark deck, so I've edged mine in black. It doesn't come edged in black. And I do use this quite often. It's quite a nice deck to actually read with, but it is quite a heavy. It has a very heavy energy to it, so I would recommend you read with caution. It's pretty expensive. It's not a cheap deck, but it is a very nice deck to have in your collection. And there is a collector's edition as well, which I don't know if it is sold out, but there is a collector's edition on the market. So that's my Z Tarot. And last but not least, we all know what this is. Here it comes. The Necronomicon. Anne Stokes' Necronomicon Tarot. I wasn't that impressed with this actually when I first got it. I've edged mine in black. That's the backs. I really thought it would be different. But as I've got to work with it, I've really got to like this deck. It's pretty cool. It's got like lightsabers and stuff in it. It's like really odd. It's a really cool deck. Love that whole Bast thing she's got going on there. I like it. I've grown to really like this deck, and I'm looking forward to using it a lot more in the new year. So that is the Necronomicon Tarot, okay, with illustrations by Anne Stokes. And that is pretty much the extent of all my dark decks. Right, moving on, let's go through all my modern tarot cards. This is a section I call my modern tarot cards. And the very first one I want to look at is the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa de Court. It's a tarot in a tin, and it's just the cutest thing. Look at the back of the cards. There they are. Okay, those are the backs. And then the front of the cards are, the actual drawings are really cute. I want to try and find one here. Look at the little people. They remind me of little plasticine people that you'd find in sort of stop motion animation. Very cute, very, very cute little deck. It's got like a little word at the top. It's very much based on the Thoth system. The little words at the top. But it's a really nice little deck. I mean, the artwork is phenomenal. It's a really modern. Look at the girl in her little panty and I keep bumping the camera. I do apologize. It's a really, really nice little deck. So that's the Sun and Moon Tarot by Vanessa de Court. Love that little tarot deck. Right there. Then I have the Lion Strider Tarot, and This was an iffy one for me. Do I buy it, don't I buy it? It's very minimalist, as you can see. Very minimalist tarot. And I was wondering, is this an animal deck or not? But I didn't put it in with my animal decks because although there are a lot of animals, there's also quite a few human figures. I like this deck. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't really read that well, but I do like to read for myself with this. I have been doing a bit of work on myself, and it seems to work. It's very white. It's a very white deck. Even the back is that sort of Rorschach kind of look. So that is the Lion Strider Tarot. I got the big kit. Okay, there we go. Next up, we have the ever popular Fountain Tarot. This is the mass market edition. It still is beautifully gilded in silver, and this is just a gorgeous deck. It's again one of those decks that is so soft and yet so brutally honest. It's a deck that'll tell you to fuck off, and you'll actually ask the deck how far it wants you to go. That's how beautiful this deck is. Okay, but I know that everybody has seen this, and I'm sure most people have this. That's the back of the cards. It's again, this is a very, it's an Instagrammable deck. Okay, so that is the Fountain Tarot. Next up, I've got the New Era Elements Tarot. This is one I hadn't really seen before. It's a very interesting tarot deck. It's a very, very emotionally draining deck. It's completely different to any other deck that I've seen. The cards have got, they're very different. They are actually sepia prints of pictures and drawings and pencil drawings and stuff that this girl Eleanor has actually incorporated into this deck. But there's a lot of stuff here that's very disturbing. It's a really, really cool deck. It's a deck that if you can get your hands on it, it isn't difficult to get, but if you can get your hands on it, buy yourself a set, because it's an earth-shattering deck. I've edged mine in black, and it has just a very, very plain backing. It's not reversible. It's just a really, really cool deck. New Era Elements, Eleanor Piper. Right, then we have one of my faves. Oops, the Tattoo Art Tarot. This is not the 8 coins tattoo one. This is the Ink and Intuition. So it's this one. Okay, it's this one that looks very tattooy. It looks very 1950s tattoo. All right, it is a pip deck, but it's a gorgeous pip deck. I love it. I love the modern the modern tattooing and the modern hairstyles, and it's just a really cool deck. Love this deck. It's like a sepia sort of color, so it looks quite old. I edged mine in antique linen, and then that is what the backs look like. And that's the box. Of course, the box is just gorgeous. Okay, so that's the Tattoo Tarot. Next up, I have the big version of Dreams of Gaia. This is the full enchilada. I know the pocket edition has just been released, but this was bought for me by my fiance for our 5th anniversary. So it's magnificent. It is not an easy read. It's an entirely different system of divination, but it really is gorgeous. That's the back of the cards. It's a deck that is just utterly exquisite. And I've put it in with my modern stuff because it's got some very modern elements to it. It's not really that, I wouldn't know where else to put this. So it's definitely worth having. It's very expensive, but it's gorgeous. I've edged mine in black. That's the back. Dreams of Gaia. If you can't afford the full one, go and get yourself the mini version. Okay. Next up, I have my favorite at the moment. This is the deck I'm working with right now, and it's the Light Seers Tarot. And this is such an awesome deck. I've been wanting this deck for so long. Look at this. How cool. I love the way they've got the titles of the cards are kind of written on in pen almost. Look there. It's a very modern deck, and it's got some very interesting choices of image. Love this deck. Absolutely. It's nice and matte, and this is what the backs look like. And this is the deck that I'm working with at the moment. Absolutely superb. The Light Seers Tarot by Chrisanne. Okay, I then have something called the Revelations Tarot. Now, this is a tarot I never use. I only bought this because of the artwork. And again, this is the back. Okay, and I've edged it in 2 different colors of purple, a mauve and then a slightly darker mauve. Okay, and this is an interesting deck. I have done a review on this. The card is like that, and then you can turn it over and it's like that. So it's got 2 sides to it. Okay, and all the cards are like that. The only reason I bought this is because of the artwork. The artwork is exquisite, and it's very detailed on both sort of upright and reversed. It's a gorgeous deck. Okay, this is definitely it's not cheap. It is reversible. It's not a cheap deck, but it's definitely a deck that if you are into very, very creative artwork and very detailed artwork, I would recommend you get this. It's really good. Okay, so that's the Revelations Tarot. And lastly, I have a beautiful deck. Cost me my liver. I only now have I have a plastic liver because I had to sell my liver for this. It's called the Bonefire Tarot, and I actually think this is an indie deck. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's a very square deck. It's quite big cards. I've edged mine in a deep purple, and it's just wow. It's another one of those decks you just have to really look through and get lost in. It's really cool. Look at that. Very bright, very vibrant, very modern. Just a really, really cool deck. As I said to you, it is very expensive. Does come in a gorgeous box like that. But it's a killer. You'll have to save up for this one. And that, of course, is my modern tarot collection. Right, let's have a look at my historical tarot decks. So I'm going to start with probably one of the most beautiful. It is the Visconti, Golden Visconti Grand Trumps. Now, it's just the 22 major arcana, but look how beautiful these cards are. All done with gold leaf. Okay, only the major 22. That's the back of the cards, gorgeous. The cards are very big. You can see they're the size of my hand, and I've got really big hands. So they are very big. That's the box. Gorgeous, gorgeous cards. But as I said, there are only 22 of them. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you the Ciro Marchetti Tarot Grand Lux. And I love Ciro Marchetti's decks. I've edged mine in black. And this is what the back looks like. It is a full set. And the reason I've put this in with my historical tarot decks is because all of this is kind of historical stuff. It is a bit fantasy-like, but it's kind of guys in chainmail, kings with that. It's actually very medieval. If you really look at this, it's got a kind of medieval. I mean, look at those medieval chicks having a party, you know. So I've included this deck in my historical collection. Okay, so that's the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. I then have the most beautiful Gold Tarot by Cat Black. It comes in this gorgeous box that opens up like that. And then the cards are gilded in gold gilding. And that is the back. Beautiful. And then this is the actual carding. Can you see? It is collaged, but it's beautifully done. I mean, it really is beautifully done. It just works. Again, this whole sort of medieval kind of look to it. Love these cards, and they read like a dream. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. There I go, bumping the camera again. That is the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. Okay. Then I have a tarot deck that not many people like. It's the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. I've edged mine in a sort of coppery brown. That is what the back of the tarot looks like. The back of the cards with this like shiny gold. The cards are matte, but it's just, I like this. I really like this deck. It's really unusual, and this is really, really old sort of, this is really old stuff. This is like flippin' medieval stuff, you know. This is like when the Black Death literally was ravaging the world. So this is a really nice deck. It reads quite well. It's not at all easy to link to the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's very different. But once you get to know your numbers, and your basics about tarot, you can really read any deck. This is the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus, so that's another really cool one in my collection. I then have the Golden Botticelli. Love this deck. It's very similar to the Visconti. That is the back of the cards. I've edged mine in black. And if you have a look, I'll try and show you very carefully, you'll see that in the background of these cards, there's all this sort of gold, beautiful gold flecks, gold leaf. Okay, in all the cards, it's all sort of gold, look, all gold. Again, very medieval, beautiful, beautiful cards. It is, again, it is a, what do you call it, a collage deck, but I mean, look how divine that is. Okay, the fool looks like literally the village idiot, but it's a lovely deck, and it reads really well. So that's the Golden Botticelli. It's by the Scarabeo, by the way. Okay, then we have the Old English Tarot. I just love the box; it's just so cool. The Old English Tarot. That's the back. Quite a big card. Okay, and this is also very medieval. It is kind of pip deck. But it's that sort of pip deck where you've got the pips and then you've got like a little picture underneath. It's super cool. Really super cool. It's got a whole thing going with little medieval people. And I love the sort of borders, these sort of borders. It's just a really, really, it's a really sweet little deck. If you want to get a little medieval deck or a little historical deck, and you're not really into historical decks, but you want one, this is the one I would recommend because it's just so cute and it's cheap as well. It's not a very expensive deck. Okay, so it's the Old English Tarot by Maggie Neen. Right, moving swiftly along, I have the Mystical Tarot. There's the front. The Mystical Tarot. Now that's the back of the tarot cards. Okay, I've edged mine in a very light copper. It's almost, I've actually distressed it almost. And yeah, this is the Mystical Tarot. Here it is. Love the borders, which I very seldom like borders. But again, this is a very medieval tarot. It's got a whole Renaissance-y kind of medieval-y thing going on, which I really, really dig. Lovely. Look at that tower. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Reads like a dream. Really nice tarot deck. Really not terribly expensive. Again, this is from Le Scarabeo. Yep. Okay, and finally I want to show you a deck that I hate. Absolutely hate this deck. It's a hideous deck. It's the new Mythic Tarot. It comes in this grotesque box, which is just like absolutely hideous. I've just done a review on this. I have tried to save mine by edging it in these different sort of colors, like purpley colors. It hasn't really helped. The front of the cards is like this. The back of the cards is grotesque purple. And I will never use these cards because they're hideous. Absolutely hideous. But I keep this box to remind me that I must not just buy any old thing. This is my reminder box because I truly hate this deck and I will never use it. Right, so be warned, the new Mythic Tarot. And that is that. All my tarot decks that are historical. Right, let us have a look at my Druid, Pagan, Witchy collection. And I'm going to start with the beloved Anarchy. Now, this deck is gorgeous. I've edged mine in black. That is the backs, okay? And everybody remarks on the faces of the characters in this deck. It's very cartoony, but it's gorgeous. And it's also set sort of like a Middle Ages kind of deck, okay? The only thing I hate about this deck is the box. The box is terrible. It's really, really awful. And I wish they would bring this deck out with a really nice box, because I would actually purchase another version of this, another set of this if they brought it out in a nice box. But this is in my collection. I'm very happy to have the Anarchy Tarot. Okay. Next up, I've got the Tarot of the Druids. This is very cartoony. It's very asterix and obelix. I've edged mine in green. It is Le Scarabeo, and it's just a funny little deck. It's just like really, really weird. It's very asterix and obelix. I didn't like this deck when I first got it, and now I've actually become quite, I kind of like it. It's really cool. But it is very cartoony, so if you don't like that sort of cartoon thing, that sort of cartoon look, then this is not the deck for you. But it's cool. That's what the back looks like. very druidy. And yeah, that's the Tarot of the Druids. Very cheap deck, not terribly expensive at all. I then have a lovely deck called the Goddess Tarot. Okay, I've edged mine in blue. That's the back. And this tarot is a really nice tarot. And what's nice about this one is it actually gives you two full cards. It is borderless. It's really pretty. Oh, the sort of medieval knights in shining armor kind of stuff going on. Really, really nice deck. It reads really well, and does have a certain feminine energy to it, I must admit. I've tried to jazz it up, like make it slightly harsher with the dark blue borders, but it doesn't work. It's definitely a goddess deck. Okay, so the Goddess Tarot. Really, really cool tarot deck. Next up, I have Wheel of the Year Tarot. That's the back, that's the front. Really cute tarot deck. It's a wonderful gift from my fiance for Christmas. It has got all different sorts of stuff going on. It's got kind of different time periods in it, but they're all kind of medieval and Druidy and Celtic. Very Celtic looking deck. Okay, I have edged mine in a sort of, you can't even really see it, like a pinky pewter sort of color. And of course that's the back. Love the backs. It's got the 4 seasons on it and it's just nice and bright. Okay, that is the Wheel of the Year Tarot. Loving that tarot. Then I have, this is one of my favorites. It's an old deck that I got ages ago. It's the Robin Wood Tarot. It is kind of what do you call that thing? A Rider-Waite-Smith clone. That's the back of the cards, and I've edged mine in a nice sort of lime green, and it's definitely a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, but it's such a cool little tarot deck. I love it. I just think it's a really nice tarot. There's a winky. A really nice tarot deck. Lots of boobs, 1 or 2 little penises popping out there, but the characters' faces are cool. I really, really dig this deck, and it reads really nicely, and it's kind of one of my go-to decks because it's an easy deck to read with. It's an easy deck to shuffle, so I really, really like using the Robin Wood Tarot. Okay, so there's that. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Wildwood Tarot. That's the back of the cards. Love the box. It's glossless, so it's totally matte, and it's a nice little pagan deck. Really not bad. Got some really interesting artwork. I have to be honest, and it's quite sad to say, I haven't really used this deck very much, and I'm planning on using it in 2020, so I'm planning on getting to know it more in 2020. But it is a lovely deck. It's kind of a middle of the range price. I've edged mine in a dark green to go with the backs and the whole theme of it, and it's a really nice deck. Very, very chuffed to have this in my collection. Really looking forward to using it in 2020. All right, next up I have, everybody's got this deck. It's the Druidcraft deck, and of course I love this deck. Comes in a little box. That's what the backs look like. I've edged mine in brown, and I've trimmed it. Of course I've trimmed it, cut all those huge borders off. I did leave the titles on though, but this is one of my workhorses. I love this deck. I work with this deck all the time. I freaking love this. It's this sort of Druidy Celtic thing going on here, and the images are just amazing, and this deck reads, oops, there's another penis, this deck reads like a bomb. You can't believe it. It's just super, super cool. And yes, I know we all have it, but still, those people who don't have it get quite excited when they see things like this. So it's worth having. It's a nice, cheapy little deck that you can get, and it's a deck that you can modify nicely, and it's just the bomb. Lovely deck. Right, let's have a look. Okay, now I'm going to show you another really popular one, and that is the Llewellyn deck. Okay, I'm sorry, I keep reaching over to get things, which is why you end up with a blank screen. I have cut my Llewellyn quite viciously. That's what the backs of them look like now that I've trimmed them, but I've trimmed them quite savagely, and I've actually, because it's a Rider-Waite clone, I've cut all the titles off because I can use these with no titles. So I literally just have the pictures. Okay, it does come with some substantial borders with all kinds of things written on it. I have cut mine, I've edged it in brown. I don't know if you can see the brown. I've edged mine in a brown to go with the backs, and they are now quite small. Okay, but you don't have to cut the edges off. I just felt it had a more of an energy without the borders. So I chopped them off. But as I say, I know how to read Rider-Waite, and this is a clone, so it's very easy to read with. So that's my Llewellyn Tarot. Okay, guys, I've only got 4 more to go. Can you believe it? 4 more to show you. First one, the Green Witch. Green Witch Tarot, love this by Anne Mora. That's the back, which reminds me of Christmas, a Christmas wreath for some reason. I've edged mine in green to go with the backs, and borderless, gorgeous card. Comes with a couple of extra cards. I'm not sure if only my version came with extra cards, but it came with 4 extra cards. And it's a lovely deck. It's a lovely witchy deck, and it's fun. It's a very, very fun deck. Okay, some of the titles have been changed. Of course, the Green Man is like the magician or something. Anyway, it's a lovely deck to have, and I'm very chuffed to have it. It's quite expensive, so if you do have it, treasure it, because it's probably going to cost you a lot of money to get. Okay, so there's the Green Witch. I then have Deborah Blake's Everyday Witch Tarot. Now, I know that she's just come out with an Everyday Witch Oracle, which I'd love to get. I've edged mine in dark blue. That's what how cute are those backs? Super cool. Comes in a nice box. Again, it's borderless. And this is a slightly more modern witchy deck. I found it a bit more modern. It's a lot more cartoony, but it's great fun. It's a fun deck. You know, it's more fun than serious. It really, I love the fact that little cats in all the cards, you know. I love cats. Even there's a little cat. So yeah, nice little deck to have. Great back, nice to edge this sort of deck, and it's a deck that reads really nicely. It's not just a novelty deck. All right. And then I've got the Celtic Tarot. Beautiful. Celtic Tarot. This is also called the Tarot of Penises, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why in a minute. I've edged mine in a iridescent copper. That's what the back looks like. It's gorgeous. Looks almost like faux leather. And they are borderless, very Celtic, but can you see why it's called the Tarot of Penises? Okay, you'll see. It's also quite gay. It's got like guys with guys, and it's a bit odd in places. But yeah, there are some interesting throne shapes in this tarot that all look like winkies. So it's called the Tarot of Penises. Yeah, nice deck, reads well, is beautiful. Cards are beautiful. It is, again, it's quite an expensive deck, but it's definitely one that I can highly recommend. It's the Celtic Tarot. And now, the very last tarot deck in my collection, and funny enough, one of the first kit decks that I bought, the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. Absolutely love this tarot deck. That is the back. Not reversible, but gorgeous. I've highlighted mine and edged mine in a dark blue. Again, borderless and beautiful. Very ethnically diverse, which is awesome. I love that. It's very Rider-Waite Smith. You can read this without any hassle. And my favorite moon card, look at the little sausage dog. How freaking cool is that? It's a lovely deck, it really is. Reads well, is just gorgeous, and is wonderfully pagan and wonderfully witchy all at the same time. That is the Modern Spellcasters Tarot. Thank you so much if you are still with me. I am hugely indebted to you guys for staying with me for so long, and I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it has perhaps inspired you to go out and buy 1 or 2 of these decks. And yeah, look out for my next video on all my Oracle decks. I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot saying I will see you on the flip side.